In the quiet village of Willowbrook, nestled between rolling green hills, lived a young man named Arav. Though he had a kind heart and a sharp mind, Arav struggled with something invisible, his own thoughts. They whispered doubts into his ears, planted seeds of worry in his heart, and painted his future with gloomy shades. Every morning, Arav would rise with hope, but by midday, the voices inside him would begin their cruel chorus: "You're not good enough. You'll fail. Everyone else is ahead of you." He tried to push them away, but they always returned stronger. Slowly, he began to withdraw from his friends, from his dreams, and eventually from himself. One day, feeling particularly lost, Arav wandered deep into the forest beyond the village. There he stumbled upon a small, overgrown garden surrounding a humble cottage. Curious, he pushed open the rusty gate, looking for something. A voice asked. Startled, Arav turned to see an old man tending to a bed of sunflowers. His face was wrinkled but warm, and his eyes sparkled with calmness. I don't know," Arav admitted. "Maybe peace." The old man, whose name was Dev, invited Arav to sit. As they shared tea, Arav poured out his heart. He spoke of the thoughts that haunted him, the battles no one saw, and the weight of hopelessness that pressed against his chest. Dev listened patiently, then pointed to the tangled weeds choking the edge of his garden. "That," he said, "is what your mind looks like." Arav frowned. "Then it's hopeless. I'll never fix it." Dev smiled. "Not hopeless. Just neglected. A mind is like a garden, it grows what you plant. If you don't choose your seeds, the wind will choose for you. And often, it brings weeds." Arav was silent. "You've been feeding your weeds," Dev continued. "Every time you listen to those thoughts, you water them. But you can change that." "How?" "By becoming the gardener." Intrigued, Arav returned the next day. And the next. Dev began to teach him how to care for the garden, how to recognize weeds, pull them gently from the roots, and replace them with flowers, herbs, and fruit-bearing plants. As they worked, Dev explained how each plant symbolized a thought. Gratitude is like lavender, small but soothing. Confidence is like a sunflower, strong and always reaching toward the light. And peace, he said, pointing to a quiet pond, is like still water. It comes when the garden is in balance. As weeks passed, Arav noticed changes, not just in the garden, but in himself. When a negative thought entered his mind, he began to question it. Is this true? Is it helpful? Would I say this to a friend? If the answer was no, he imagined pulling the thought out like a weed and planting something better in its place. When he felt envy, he planted gratitude. When he felt fear, he planted curiosity. When he felt anger, he planted understanding. The garden flourished. So did Arav. One morning, while pruning roses, Arav turned to Dev and said, "The thoughts still come, you know. but they don't stay as long. Dev nodded. They're like birds. You can't stop them from flying over your head, but you can stop them from building a nest. Arav smiled. For the first time, he felt in control, not because the negative thoughts had disappeared, but because he had learned not to feed them. Eventually, Arav returned to Willowbrook, bringing his new wisdom with him. He reconnected with friends, pursued his dreams, and even helped others tend to their own mental gardens. Some days were still hard, but he faced them with the tools Dev had given him, and in the center of his room, he kept a small pot of sunflowers to remind him, dark thoughts may visit, but they don't have to stay. You can fight them, not with force but with awareness, kindness, and persistence, because in the end, the most powerful thing a person can do is choose what to grow in the garden of their mind. Moral: negative thoughts may arise, but they do not define you. By nurturing positive thoughts and being mindful of what you feed your mind, you can cultivate peace, confidence, and joy. Like a garden, the mind needs care, and with patience and persistence, anyone can learn to grow flowers instead of weeds.